Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? I feel like this world has gone completely insane. And I feel, can I be honest with you? I feel like I can. I feel like this is my safe place and I have my people here. I feel very heavy. But this channel, you guys, this community, this little community that I have here and making these videos is what makes me happy or happier, at least for the time that I'm doing this. And I really need some kind of distraction. And if you need some kind of distraction, welcome to my channel. Let's hang out together. Let's react to some videos. Let's watch some spooky stuff together. This video is going to be about spooky stuff. This is what I enjoy a lot. And yeah, I also wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you for still showing up for me and watching my videos and supporting me and my channel and hanging out with me. So anyways, let's jump right into the videos.
So either I'm being haunted by something supernatural or someone or something was in my house today, which is exciting because I'm very meticulous where things are, okay? So I get back into my house and I just felt it immediately as soon as I walked in the door from the garage and I'm like, something's off. And I was on a video call with somebody. I usually always have some sort of proof or awareness of what's going on and a way to validate what's actually happening. So I always lock my front door, the handle and the deadbolt. There are 4 doors into my house. On the front of my garage, there's a door to the right that was locked. The back door to my backyard was deadbolted and locked. The only door that was unlocked was the door, this one, to out into my garage, right, where both of my cars are currently, right? So big garage, both cars, 2 doors. So this is the only one. And as far as I know, I got to change my locks apparently. So I get in my house, I come into my bathroom, and there is a contact solution container, a big one from Costco, just next to my toilet, along with a shower liner that was underneath my sink, just on the ground. Interesting. So I'm like looking around and I'm like, someone was in my house. But granted, I received some things like this lamp from a friend of mine, and a few other weird things like these copper tins or this really cool old glass pitcher that belonged to his mother that passed away. So cool, supernatural, right? But then this is where things get crazy. So I started looking around and I have like writings like all over, right? And I'm like, okay, maybe there's something in mirrors, whatever, because I love weird stuff and treasure hunts, like mirror, right? They're just everywhere.
I need to take...
So then I start looking upstairs and I start seeing that there's all of these scratches on the paint moving up, but I haven't moved anything. Okay. But I also have this like huge gash on the wall that wasn't there.
Okay.
Bear with me. There's more scratches on this one.
That is weird.
Blue marks. So this was painted blue at some time ago. You come up here. There's also like other gashes in the wall that wasn't there before. This is where things get really weird. I have paper all over my wall. That was ripped. Mirror. This was ripped right here. It was folded down and I looked down. There's this huge tear on it as though somebody was fucking with it. Okay, that's not all. It's what was written on this piece of paper that was ripped down that kind of tripped me out more than anything. And every time I touch this, like, I'm getting goosebumps and chills right now. Okay. So here's my left hand. So this is my receiving hand. When I pick it up, it, like, my whole arm, like, goes goosebumps. This is what it says. Syzygies, time plexing, peregrine falcon, Lilith, and the How.
Huh?
Okay, and it should be no surprise that I am the How. It's in my name. How? Well, how? Well, I'm well. Whenever anybody asks me how I'm doing, how are you? And I always say, well, like a wishing well. What's interesting is I got my haircut today, for one. I go see my barber. My barber's cool as shit. The building that he bought has a well underneath it from like the 40s, okay? And it actually gave me the beginning idea of this horror film that I wanted to do. And I'm like, can I use this? Because it looks like a well, like straight from the Ring.
Okay, good for you.
Kind of weird, right? Now, what's interesting is nothing was really taken. Like nothing's missing. But both my front door and the door out to my backyard was not deadbolted, and it was unlocked. There's only one person that I'm aware of that has a key to this house. But I don't know how many people have keys to this house because the locks and the door handles were never changed when I moved in.
Okay. That's...
I used a TikTok shop, and I bought this guy.
Interesting.
Okay? This is going to trip you out. This will be the last thing because this is crazy. So I bought one of these a while ago. My son set it up. So turn it on. And this is what's trippy. Okay? So lights up, right? I had a feeling. So this is pointing at my phone. It's going off.
I have one of these. What the heck?
Phone?
I checked the vent for one.
On my computer, it locks and it demands a passcode for anyone, and it times out after a while. Please enter your primary password. That was on the screen when I got home. So it goes to show that somebody's fucking with shit, because I posted on Instagram that I was getting a haircut up in Ogden, which is 45 minutes from here. So if somebody saw that and knew that I wasn't here, for one, so the physical presence, but also the fact that new energies from a house where two people passed away lived in was supernatural. So what do you guys think? You think somebody was in my house? Do you think that there's now a microphone or a camera in that air vent where that was going off? Possibly. We'll find out tomorrow. Thank God I get my home security system tomorrow, so I can put cameras on the front, the back, and inside the house to see what's really going on. But also, while I was just on a TikTok live, it sounded like something next to me fell over. On the ground, there's nothing on the ground. The light flickered over there. I love shit like this. I'm not even worried, but the fact that there's scratch marks and you can see on this railing that it's scratched up, like someone took their nails and like clawed up.
Look at the smile.
I love it. What's going on? Am I sharing too much information, internet? Am I talking too much about decadence and the AOE? Or Axis? Or the Lemurian numogram?
Possibly, right?
It's possible. We're about there. We have Friday the 13th, followed by a new moon on Sunday. LFG, bro. LFG.
I don't know what that means. Okay, this is a very interesting situation. I loved the fact that he's enjoying all of this for one, but it also can be very scary. It can be literally a stalker, because as he said, he's sharing things online with people in real time, and it is dangerous. We as women know how dangerous it is. We never share, or not supposed to share, our locations or what we're doing or where we are in real time. It's a big no. We don't share where we live. We don't show where we live. We don't show the things around where we live. We know these things. But men should, I guess, be careful as well. There's a lot of insane people around us. So I think it is very much possible that there was someone in his house. I mean, someone like a person, real person. And that wasn't anything paranormal. The dent in the wall and then the scratches is what is putting me off, because, you know, like messing with paper, rearranging stuff or touching stuff and putting a camera somewhere, it's all in the realm of cuckoo, insane bananas, right? But still, it's like what people do. But then scratching the railings and then making a dent in the wall, like how would you even do that? Like, what would you just like scratch it with your nails, as he said, or were they dragging something? That is interesting. I think that this is more a real life situation than anything paranormal. Speaking of haunting and paranormal things going on, and as I just mentioned, I also have one of those EMF detectors. I recently bought one, and I also have a thermal camera. So I will possibly do some kind of like ghost hunting video or investigation in the future. We'll see. But as for this place, there are still a lot of things going on, a lot of unexplained that we cannot explain. And what I recently found out that this place where I live, this area specifically, is like a paranormal hotspot area. There's a lot of reports about like all sorts of paranormal.
This is a really scary story, and if you want to sleep tonight, maybe save this video and watch it in the daytime.
Are you watching
I'm not joking. A guy writes this story because something has woken him up at 3 a.m. He's woken up by the really familiar sound of his front door rattling. And he's got one of those front doors that as soon as it's shut, it automatically locks. So if you haven't got your keys, you're not getting back inside. And it sounds like someone's pushing up against the front door. So immediately he opens up his Ring doorbell phone app and he looks at the camera and he sees his wife standing outside. It's freezing cold, it's 3 a.m, but his wife is standing outside, kind of shivering, just standing at the door.
Okay.
I've literally got shivers.
Sleepwalking?
Now, he doesn't get up to let his wife in. He checks who's lying next to him in bed. And he turns over and he shines the torch on the person laying next to him. And it's his wife. And he checks, that's my wife. And he looks back at the app. And he can't figure out who this person is. It's definitely his wife. He knows what his wife looks like. How can she be in two places at once? He decides to go to the front door to see who it is because part of him thinks maybe it's a burglar. Maybe there's some sort of disguise going on and they're pretending to be the wife to get in the house. He approaches the door. He doesn't open it. And he just says, "Who is it?" And he hears his wife reply. And she says, "It's me. I forgot my keys in my bag. It's freezing. Please, can you let me in?" He says it's the same accent, same annotation. It's his wife. Ooh.
Would you?
He just responds, "Hold on a minute," and runs straight back to his bedroom. Wakes up his wife that's in bed and says, "You've got to see this." His wife wakes up really groggy, like, what are you showing me? And he shows her the door camera and she looks at it and she goes, "When was this recorded?" And he says, "No, this is live." The wife is adamant that that isn't a live video. And he's like, "No, I've just been downstairs and I've just spoke to you. You said that you left your keys in the bag, it's freezing and you need to come inside." The husband's saying this like it's a normal occurrence. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. The wife, out of frustration, gets out of bed, opens her curtains, looks down to where the front door is and immediately shuts the curtains and is like, "Holy shit, that's me." They must both have massive balls because they decide to go downstairs together. And the husband calls out, "What's your name?" And the wife outside responds with her full name, middle name, which I think, uncalled for, is sus. He says, "What's your birthday?" She gets it correct. And then he's like, "Well, what did we have for dinner tonight?" And she says it correctly.
No,
she
should
says,
ask,
"You
"Why
cooked
are you
it as
asking
well."
me these
Husband's
questions?
kind of now like, "What? Which one's my wife?" Inside wife is like trying to control herself and she's like, "What?" And he reaches over to her and says, "Ask it something only you would know." And she's like thinking, what can I ask her? What can I ask her? So then she talks out loud and says, "The last time you visited your parents' house, what did they change about your bedroom?" And there was a really long pause. And the wife outside responds, "Who is that? What's going on?" Noticing that there's another woman talking to her. She's talking to herself. She also says, "You're really starting to freak me out. What's going on? Why aren't you letting me inside?" And both husband and wife inside just say, "Answer the question."
What is happening?
There's
with
a
the
really
video?
long pause and it's answered correctly. She knows exactly the answer. Her parents had moved her niece and nephew's beds into her old bedroom. How does she know all this? The inside wife is just shitting herself and she grabs her husband's hand and she runs back to the bedroom and she locks the door and she's like, "We are not leaving this house. Like, no. They bring up the Ring doorbell app and they see the outside wife walk off into the backyard, presumably to find the spare key. If she knows all of these personal answers, surely she must know where the spare key is. Which wife was his real wife? Who was standing outside? I've honestly got chills.
Why didn't she
I don't know
do it
about you, but I'm
earlier?
never looking at my Ring doorbell app in the middle of the night if I hear a noise. Never going to do it. Like, what would you do if you saw that?
Freak out.
Pray. I'd probably pray. I'm going to start telling stories about fairies and angels rather than creepy wives.
Well, first of all, did you notice that there was something going on with the video? Like, it was like weird. It looked like some frames were out of frame or like edited in, where it was empty, and then she changed the sweater for like a little piece of a video and then changed it back again, and like it looked weird, kind of creepy. But I love this creator. She's on TikTok and I believe on Instagram, but this is from TikTok, and she tells stories that other people send her, like on their behalf. And I really like her, and I really like her style. So if you want to check her out, please go do that. Give her a follow if you like these kinds of stories, because she has like a ton of interesting stories. And if you want to listen to something spooky before bed, this is a good place to go. Now, about this story, assuming that it's true, let's say that it's true, I would assume that my inside wife was my wife, because what was suspicious about that one is that she started answering all those questions that the husband asked without asking, like, what the hell, just let me in, like, why are you asking me all these stupid questions? She behaved kind of like suspicious. So yeah, I wouldn't let her in. And if she went to grab a key, which we don't know what happened next, but yeah, good old spooky story.
There's a ghost in my house and it's been messing with me for weeks, and I got proof. I have many things that I could tell that went on, but for right now, I have a video to show you. Basically what happened was I laid down today to take a nap. My dogs were laying down with me. My daughter was sitting on the couch, which I did not know at the time. I have an alarm system on my back door that if you unlock the door, lock the door, hit the door very hard, or open the door, it will say back door open. So I'm dead asleep and I hear back door open. I jump up out of a dead sleep, yell my daughter's name, and she doesn't respond. I look over and she's sitting on the couch, and I'm like, hey, who's at the back door? I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Didn't you just hear it say, like, back door open? And she was like, yeah, I don't know.
Teenagers don't care.
No one else is here. The back door should be locked. No one should be coming in our back door. What do you, like, hello? So I get up, I go check the back door. There's no one there. The door is locked. I go back in there and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I heard that in my sleep. Maybe I dreamed it. So I ask her, did you hear it say that? And she's like, yeah, I did. So why didn't you answer me when I jumped up and said your name? Of course, she was on her phone. She doesn't listen half the time when she's doing that. So she was like, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So I'm thinking, yeah, I must have heard it. You know, maybe I was asleep, whatever. So I get on my cameras to check to see if there's a video saying back door open. I check the cameras. I do not see a video saying back door open, so I'm kind of wondering, like, did I hear that? But she's like, no, I did hear it, and I'm, like, 99.9% sure I heard this. There's no cameras that show anyone coming up to my house. There's no cameras that show any cars coming around my house. All the cameras are clear at this point. So I'm still looking through the camera footage, and I'm checking, like, maybe one of the dogs got up and, like, went to the door and, you know, I don't know, hit the door. I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking there has to be a logical explanation, which I don't know why, because there's been crazy stuff happening lately and it's getting worse. So I'm looking at the videos, and you can hear in the hallway at this time when the door when that happened with the door, right before it happened, you can hear someone walking down the hallway. There's timestamps, and it was literally within minutes, so it had to be right before that. But you can hear the footsteps walking down the hallway. I know what it sounds like when someone's coming down the hallway. If I've been in the bed or been on the couch or whatever, and my daughter gets up and she walks down the hallway because she's woke up from a bad dream, or she's up not sleeping when she should, and she comes in, I always know, oh, here she comes. I know what it sounds like when someone walks down my hallway. So I'm going to add in this video, and you tell me if you think that it sounds like footsteps.
Okay.
Because I have 2 videos, and it is footsteps going down my hallway. I know it is, but I want to know if you guys think that it sounds like that, and if not, what do you think it is? So follow me, and I will do a part 2 explaining some of the things that have happened. I've had to even call the cops because I thought someone was in my house, and my kids have heard things, voices, talking, like all kinds of stuff. So follow me, I'll do a part 2, and I'll tell the rest of the stuff. If you have any advice on what you think it might be, why it's getting worse, what I can do to make it stop, that would be great. I would appreciate that.
Oh, Jesus, it scared me. The end of the video. Well, it sounded like something. I'm not sure about footsteps, though. There were definitely sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure about footsteps. We're always looking for logical explanations. Not sure. We need more information about this. But I'd assume that she said that she had a dog, so I think that that was a dog as she was thinking. But yeah, I don't know. Does she have an attic maybe? Maybe there were animals in the attic that made noises. But I mean, teenagers, right? She would literally just sit there, kept watching the TV, and ignored that it said that the door was unlocked or open. She'd be like, if she was in a scary movie, she'd be already.
Okay, do you guys believe in ghosts? Because I just had the craziest shit happen. I was in the bathroom washing my face and getting ready for bed, and I started to hear footsteps in my attic. And I was like,
Okay.
there's no way, right?
There is a
So
way.
I go outside, and I'm like literally it sounds so much like footsteps that I go outside and I look to see if anybody's on the roof, because that's how much I am hearing footsteps. Don't see anybody on the roof, right? Obviously, it's like 10 o'clock at night. So I come back inside and I'm like, I must just be imagining it. So I continue to get ready for bed, brush my teeth, whatever. And I swear to God, I am hearing fucking footsteps above me. And so to the point where I'm completely freaking myself out. So I go downstairs and I grab my roommate and I'm like, can you come upstairs with me? And I am going to look in the crawl space to see if anybody is up there, because I swear to God, someone is up there. So she comes upstairs. She goes, do you have a weapon? And I'm like, I have a knife. So I drag my stool over to right below the crawl space, and I get up there, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, okay? Okay, that's what that looks like. So I crawl up on my stool
Scary.
with my knife in hand, flashlight in the other hand, and I pop the crawl space up. And I shine my flashlight in there, but there's this huge roll of insulation in my way. I cannot see around it. And I'm so afraid that I'm going to get fucking ambushed. So I'm like, okay, this isn't working. And I'm terrified. I'm peeing my pants. What the fuck? So I call one of my really close friends who lives nearby, and I'm like, hey girl, what do I do? Can you guys come over? What do I do in this situation?
The more the
So she and her
merrier.
husband drive over.
Okay. Well, I mean,
But she's also like, I think you should call the cops. If you really think that somebody is living in your fucking crawl space, you should call the cops. So I'm kind of talking myself out of it, into it. I'm like, what do I do? So I call my neighbor. My neighbor's like, you should definitely call the cops. This is what they're there for. And I'm like, they're going to make so much fun of me if nothing comes of this, but here we go. So call the cops. They show up. 3 cops show up. Okay. I'm like, y'all got nothing better to do? Whatever. So, they show up. I tell them the whole story, and there's 2 female cops and 1 male cop, and he's like super tall. So he's the one that drags the stool over, and then like he pops open the thing, he like lifts himself into the crawl space and like looks around, comes back down. He's like, nobody's up there. Promise you, nobody's up there. It's a very good chance it's a raccoon, right? Like, it's probably a wild animal on your roof. Could have been a wild animal in your gutter.
Everything. He was actually in there
I'm
walking
like,
around.
obviously going along with it because,
Well, yeah.
yeah, because I super appreciate them coming out and everything, and I kind of feel like an idiot. But then like they leave, and my roommate and I look at each other and we're like, I think this house is haunted. Because, guys, I have lived here for 5 years. I know what this house sounds like when it's creaky. It was built in the 1960s. There are some creaks. When the wind blows, the cover of the swamp cooler makes weird noises. Like, I know all these things. This was not that. These were very intentional footsteps. Like, I mean, if I didn't think they were footsteps, I wouldn't have called the cops and dragged them all the way out here, like, and felt like such an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, and there have been multiple times where I have woken up in the middle of the night and been absolutely positive that there was somebody in the room with me. And then I turn on the light and there's nobody there. So I, never really knew, like, I don't not believe in ghosts. I don't definitely believe in ghosts, but after this experience tonight, I am definitely edging toward believing in ghosts, because this was just the craziest experience. There is something up there. I'm hoping it's benevolent, because I'm still here. I've lived here for 5, almost 6 years. Nothing's hurt me yet, but love to get your take. Whether you guys think this is complete and utter fallacy, or whether you're like, oh no, I'm a big ghost believer. Would love to know. Okay, so my girlfriend told me that I need to get rid of all my secondhand mirrors, which I definitely have at least one, because I have one from Goodwill.
I also have
And
one.
also to sage my entire home. So that will be happening this week.
Jesus, this just dawned on me. I've never thought of this. We have one old mirror here that was given to us when we just moved in, because we had literally nothing in here, and it's a very old mirror that the person got from someone else, which is just like a side story about myself. Another thing is that I have had this experience when I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I could swear that there was someone in the room with me. Like, I've had this not even multiple times, like so many times happen to me. Obviously, there was nobody, like no real person, thank God, in the room with me, but I've had this feeling, I've had this notion, and yeah, that is really creepy. A lot of the times you're just thinking like you're being paranoid, there's nothing in here, and you're just making up stuff, and that is just it. Now, about these videos and these kinds of situations, the first video that we watched, her video, I'm actually more scared of people than ghosts, if they exist. I'm leaning towards believing that they do exist, or spirits, or something like that, something beyond what we can see, let's just put it this way. But in these situations, what I think is that there were some people in there that were hiding inside of their homes, and that is 1,000 times more scarier for me, because people are insane, people are dangerous. Now, in this case, what I just thought was that she heard footsteps. If there was any kind of person, that person must have been like new to the crawl space or area, because if they weren't, that would have been illogical to walk there so that she could hear them, because I assume they would know that there were people in the house. Like, the lights were on. So if we're thinking logically, if there was a person that was living there or hiding there, they would have stayed quiet and waited for the night to kind of move around. I don't even know. That's just my thought process. Like, that would be so illogical to just start walking back and forth and let people in the house know that there's someone up there and let them potentially call the police and potentially find you there. Like, what do you think? Could that have been an animal? For sure. For sure. I'm not sure what kind of sounds raccoons make when they walk. I assume tippy tappies, like they don't walk like people, because you can kind of distinguish when a person is walking and what it sounds like from an animal, right? I assume. I'm leaning towards a person more, but like towards a not very smart one. Or they wanted to scare them intentionally, don't know for what, but I don't know. People are crazy, don't know why they do things they do. But yeah, interesting. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments about these situations. And if you've had anything like this happen to you, please share with me, whether it's paranormal or you think it's paranormal, or real life encounters with like squatters or crazy people living in your homes inside your walls. And thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.